is Mark Ongley, and I am pastor of a small church called Ashes to Life in Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, a church made up of mostly people who are in recovery. I've also recently written a book called Into the Light, Healing Sexuality in Today's Church. The subtitle use originally was going to be Redeeming the Church's Discussion of Sexuality. I think we can agree that that's something that needs to happen. The discussion happening in the church at present is extremely polarizing and only adds to the polarization that's so obvious in our culture. How did we get to be so polarized? Many answers have been given to that, but I think very appropriate is an answer offered by a Christian psychologist. His name is Dr. Mark Ongley. He's from Regent University, and he has studied extensively and written a number of books on the issues of gender identity and also homosexuality. In his book, Homosexuality and the Christian, he says that the polarization has been aggravated by nothing butisms. Nothing butisms. He said that there are two extremes. There are those who are saying that attraction to the same sex is nothing but nature. People are born that way. It's immutable. That is who they are. And the other extreme are the nothing butisms who say it's nothing but nurture, how they were raised. And they can, in fact, change. Further exacerbating the situation is that both camps trot out onto the stage. They're people who give their testimony. On the one extreme, I tried changing, nothing has changed. I've been to every prayer group, all the therapy that I could afford, and I am this way. Then there's others who say, well, I thought that's the way I was born, but I found healing and with the right kind of counseling, now I'm married, have 17 kids, blah, blah, blah. It's been a mess. Yarhouse helps us to navigate this by introducing what he calls the 3 tiers of distinction. The first tier he calls same-sex attraction. And he says that the best of studies reveal that about 6% of men and 4.5% of women find that they are attracted to the same sex at some point in their lives. It might be during pubescence, it might be later on in adolescence, it might be in adulthood. And because of the fluidity of sexual attraction, it's just seasonal, it's just for a period, and they're able to move beyond that. The second tier is homosexual orientation. And Yarhouse says that studies reveal 2% of men, 1% of women have only been attracted to the same sex. For them, it seems indelible. And so that is a homosexual orientation. Now, in the third tier he labels as gay identity. And when it comes to ministry, our approach differs from the usual script that the culture offers. The culture says, you're attracted to the same sex, then that's probably who you are. You ought to experiment and see if it feels right to you. And if so, then that's who you are. That's your gay identity. And so you need to gradually come out of the closet, reveal yourself for who you are to those who you know and love. That's the cultural script. For those of us who are Christians, we can say to people who are struggling with attraction to the same sex, we can say, you might be this first tier, and because of the fluidity, this may just be a passing phase. It may change, or counseling and prayer might make a difference. Or you might be in that second tier. That second tier is homosexual orientation, and this may be the attraction that you have the rest of your life. But the third tier is an option. For you as a Christian, your identity is not found in your sexual attractions. Your identity is found as a son or a daughter of God. Your identity is found in Christ. We are who God has made us, and we're not the sum total of our feelings and our attractions. Really, and I lay this out in the book, Into the Light, the idea of building our identity on feelings and attractions is from a pagan worldview. I was in a conversation with two gay men, and they were comparing their stories. The one gay man said, "You remember when we were little boys and we went through that girls are yucky stage? And then when you hit 5th or 6th grade, all of our buddies, they're all about girls. They can't stop talking about girls. I never went through I never got out of the girls are yucky stage." And my other gay friend said, "Yeah, that's exactly how I felt." It was a moment of realization for this other gay man, but it was also a moment of realization for me, because the light went on in my head. I thought, oh, I never went through the girls are yucky stage. I never went through that. My own sexual brokenness is heterosexual in nature, but I didn't realize that, here I was as a toddler having a crush on a girl, then kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade. I have my own brokenness. I think one thing that will help with the polarization of the church and the culture is this helpful diagram of the 3 tiers, and that identity is who we are in Christ. We are who God made us to be, and there's a matter of choice there. We can choose to identify ourselves by feelings and attractions. For example, I could embrace my inner polygamist and fall in love with one woman after another, but that's not who I am. I'm a son of God. I'm a child of God, and He's made me for a relationship with one person.